Welcome back. It's Dr. Jen Perboni, Doctor of Physical Therapy, better known as DocJenFit, your owner and founder of Gen Health, platform for all aches and pains and just wanting to feel good and have a routine to follow within your body. Now today, since I am very pregnant and we are in third trimester, I am going to talk about 5 of my favorite pelvic floor relaxation exercises that you could do. Now, of course, there's so many more pelvic floor relaxation exercises that could really be beneficial, but these are a great place to start, especially because during birth, during labor, if you're doing a vaginal birth, you need your pelvic floor to get out of the way. Okay. That is the key. Your pelvic floor is not doing anything to push your baby out. It is your uterus doing everything to push baby down and out. And what the pelvic floor has to do is relax and move. So if we don't have that length within the pelvic floor, that's where we could be potentially a little bit more prone to tears. So let's relax that pelvic floor. This is also going to help with any kind of issues you could be having. Now, of course, I want to say, if you are currently experiencing leaking, pain, painful intercourse, anything that might be happening along the pelvic floor, I would highly recommend seeing a pelvic floor therapist in person. I don't have any particular symptoms that usually come up for me, but I still see a pelvic floor physical therapist in my second and third trimester at least once, because it is so helpful to understand how to breathe, to make it more beneficial to relax and move that pelvic floor out of the way during labor, and just make me aware of areas within my pelvic floor that might have increased tension or reduced coordination that I could be working on. So it's really, really helpful. Okay, let's get into it. Now, the only thing that I have here with me that I need today is a low ottoman, but you can use a chair, something that you can sit on and feel comfortable with. We're going to start with what are called adductor rolls, okay? Different than what I traditionally do at adductor rocks. So I'm going to take my leg, let me make sure that this is out of my way enough. Take my leg out to the side, let my knee kind of relax. So I don't want to be super tense in my leg. Let that leg relax. Keep that spine really long, tailbone tilted up toward the ceiling. And I'm going to rock back and let that foot come up with me, relaxing and rolling. So I'm kind of opening up my toe toward the ceiling and getting a lot of different angles along that inner thigh and groin area. And I'll do about 5 on each side. Of course, if you want to do a few more, you want to do 10, it's feeling really good, you feel like you need 15, that's totally fine. It makes it a little bit more of an active movement as well when we take our toe up with the rock. Okay, then I'll come in and switch legs here and elongate that spine and really open up that toe. So open up that leg, open up that hip as I rock back. And it's not about as far as you can rock back, not necessarily needing to sit into your heel. It's really just about opening up through that inner thigh and groin area and relaxing tension. A good way to help relax tension is to exhale on the way back. So you kind of help remind the body to relax. Okay. Next one we're going to do is sitting on your elevated surface or chair. And we're going to do just a seated figure 4 modified pigeon stretch. Okay. So you have options here. You can either take the leg if this feels okay for you, sit up nice and straight and relax in the body. If you are used to doing more of like yoga, pigeon pose, that's where it could be helpful to do an elevated pigeon. Make sure that the leg doesn't have to be forced at a 90-degree angle. And you're just going to elongate through that spine. So we always want to be elongating through that spine, thinking of that knee pushing back into that hip and then leaning forward. And you'll realize when you elongate more from that spine, keeping that tailbone lifted and tucked out, we're not rounding in the low back. You're going to feel a lot more of a stretch around that glute. The goal here is to hold it for about at least 5 slow breaths, but I prefer up to 10 slow breaths. Okay, breathing, relaxing. And it's a lot easier to be able to get into this position a bit more comfortably when you're in an elevated position. Again, you can take either that figure 4 stretch or that modified pigeon. So whatever is feeling good and needed within your body. You do not have to be at a perfect 90-degree angle. You can let your body come in more, elongate through that spine. Think of that knee coming back into that hip and breathe. Breath is super crucial, especially when we're doing passive stretches here. The whole point of a passive stretch is to help relax the muscle tissue. We're not elongating muscle tissue, but we're helping to relax it so there's not as much tension in it. And the breath really helps to talk to the nervous system in our brain and tell us, hey, chill. But it really is how we breathe. So breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your nose or through pursed lips, doing a really long exhale. On the inhale, you want to try to make sure it's not going into your neck and shoulders. We don't want that. We want to do low breath in from that low rib cage and around, relaxing that belly. You can even shake into it. That helps relax the nervous system even more. Get things to just melt. Okay. This really helps with any tension around those hips. Then we'll come out of it and we're going to rock from a hip flexor stretch into a hamstring stretch. So I'm going to keep my chair or ottoman here so that I have some support. You can tuck that tailbone or that back foot under. Tuck that tailbone under, reach that inside hand on the inside of that leg for support. We're going to reach up to the sky, over, and as I reach over, I'm going to start to tip my hips forward. However, as I tip my hip forward, I'm going to keep that tailbone locked under that glute tight. Okay. So glute tight, reach up high and over. Take a breath. Relax that breath. And then coming out. Now I'm going to flip my tailbone up and out. So now tailbone is reaching out. Have a slight bend in that knee as I reach back. Take a breath. And notice that my foot stays relaxed. Now the key here, and we'll rock back and forth just a few times, so 3 to 5 times. Now, the key and why I keep a relaxed foot is because I'm not doing a nerve stretch. I'm getting into the muscle. Now, when I pull my toe back towards you, sometimes you feel it in the calf and down into the foot, maybe even into the back, because that is more of a nerve stretch. Okay. Anytime you're forcing the toe back when you do a hamstring stretch, you're doing a nerve stretch. That's not our intention here. It's the intention is to rock the hips back because your hamstring attaches all the way into your pelvis. Have the knee relaxed. It attaches all the way up into the knee and stretch into that muscle. Okay. So when we want a pure muscle stretch, you are really focusing on relaxing that foot. So key here. Again, reaching on the inside, breathing in, reach, breathe out. Let it come forward until you feel that stretch in the front of the hip and then come out. Flip, reverse that pelvis, keep a slight bend in that front knee, and breathe out. Remember, it's that exhale that causes that relaxation. So we really want to focus in on that good exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. One more. Breathe in, breathe out. And then breathe in, breathe out. Now, low squat hold is what we're going into next. This is super crucial to help relax that tension into that pelvic floor again. So you can come into a low squat here and hang on to something, trying to keep an upright body as much as possible. Keep those feet flat. So the goal here is to keep your feet flat. So you can walk your feet out, you can turn them out, you can do what you need to. The goal here is to have something to hold onto so that you can completely relax. Every exhale, I want you to feel like the pelvic floor is expanding even more. And we're just doing 5 breaths. If it's easier for you to have your back against a wall, against a couch, against something, I am moving the couch. Don't do that. You can have your back against a wall, something sturdy that's not going to move, to help support you, and have your hands in the middle if that helps to kind of spread the knees and have a little bit more of that. So we'll do that for about 5 breaths. Next, we're going to flip it around. So I'm going to use the ottoman. I would highly recommend something a bit more stable for this one. So I love grabbing a door frame. You can grab a pole. You can grab something a little bit more stable and sturdy. It's going to be helpful here. And what we're going to do is stretch the back of the pelvic floor. So I want my feet to go in toward each other and have a bend in my knees. Now I'm going to reach forward, and with a little bit of a rounded back, I'm going to try to think of spreading my bones apart from my pelvis and breathing into it. So my hip bones are going to sit back as much as possible, and I breathe into them, relaxing and opening the back of the pelvic floor with my feet going in. 5 breaths here. If you're not quite feeling it in the back of the pelvis, you can also try doing it one leg at a time. So what you would do here is you would have this leg in front, and I'm going to reach now with the opposite arm, either around that pole, around that door frame, around something. And I'm going to reach this back as I rotate into my leg. Yes, belly is going to push into this leg as I reach my hip bone straight back, and I breathe. So you can do 5 on each leg here, 5 breaths. Again, take that other leg, have a slight bend, reach that tailbone back, opposite arm, and you open up that sit bone. Okay. The goal there is to really create that opening and that space in the back of the pelvis. Now, I do have a pelvic floor foundations course where I go through so much more when it comes to breath, alignment, posture, pelvic floor relaxation, pelvic floor coordination, and strengthening exercises, that you can have this program for life so that you can always come back to it. And I have pregnancy considerations as you go through the entire program. Now, I want to give you a little discount, so you can use code OPTIMAL10. Optimal10, you're going to get a whole $10 off the program. Shh, don't tell anyone. But this is my gift to you. It is a lifetime access package where you can have it to assess, understand, and educate yourself. It's just 10 minutes a day. It's 2 weeks worth of information. And I go through something every single day with downloadable education that you can actually digest and understand. It's not too high level. I'm not talking about, intense anatomy and physiology. I'm just breaking things down in a way to help you understand and feel something different within your body. That's always my goal. So I hope you check out Pelvic Floor Foundations. It's a great place to start. And if you can, get access into seeing a pelvic floor therapist during your pregnancy journey as well. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.